What's going on, guys? So in this video, I'm super excited to show you, this is how to sell high ticket fitness packages from $3,200 to $5,000 plus for 4 months on average. This is the exact same type of packages that I sold as a fitness trainer and that I helped my other fitness trainers sell that got me to 7 figures. So watch the framework, make sure you take notes. It's all about positioning, right? You don't have to be unethical, you don't have to lie, but you have to position yourself as the premium price and the premium person in the marketplace. So hope you guys enjoy it. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next one. The first thing is let's pull this up. So this right here, I believe is inside our portal. It's called the 8 points of a close. And so this is like a good framework to follow as well. It's just making sure you're asking the right questions. Okay, so you have your problem, struggle, challenge, what haven't they solved, what happens if they don't do it, what's their goals, their desire, right? Then you start asking about money, spouse, try to build trust, and then figure out a solution. Okay, like sales most of the time is framework. It's not going to be some magical thing you say or one-liners or two-liners. It's just going to be frameworks, and every call is a little different. Every person has a little bit of a different personality. So the better you get at reading people and picking up on things and your tone inflection and how you say things, the better it's going to go for you. Okay. Now this is a older script that I wrote. It's not old in how it's used, but it's older when it was written, right? And you guys can tell it's not like the cleanest font, so you can tell I wrote it. So first thing I say is make sure it's not verbatim. Some of you guys are reading verbatim off your scripts. I would highly encourage you not to do that, because what happens when you read verbatim is you stop thinking and you're just reading. You're not actually listening to what they say, and you can't think because you're focusing on reading, right? So if someone's talking to you or you're trying to focus and you're also reading, it doesn't work very well. So the reason I don't like having a word for word script is I can glance to make sure I'm on point, but I'm still listening and thinking, right? So that's number one, is I highly recommend this. Don't just read your script. Some of you guys have it written out word for word. I guarantee you it hurts you, because when they say something off topic or they say something off base or they put in something that's not in your script, you're not able to handle it like you would in a normal conversation. Okay. So first thing I do, and I'll role play a little bit as I go. So first thing I do when I get on a call, I'm like, hey, is this John? Hey, John, what's going on? This is Tanner Chidester, CEO of Elite COs. Super excited to talk to you today. Before we dive in, tell me a little bit about yourself. Oh, Tanner, I do this, I do that. Awesome, man. You got kids? How's the Packers? You like football? No? Okay, I won't bring up football again. What else you like to do? Oh, you like the snow? Great. You ever have snowball fights with your kids? Cool, man. You're just getting them to like you, guys. So when it's building rapport, all you're trying to do is get them to like you. Okay, when you go and you talk to people, you're meeting new friends, act interested in what they're interested in. It's simple. Don't talk about what you want to talk about. Talk about what they want to talk about. That's it. Simple as that. As soon as I get done with that, 5 minutes max. Awesome, John. So super excited to talk to you. So what I want to do on this call today, okay, right here. On this call, my ultimate goal is just to give you clarity, right? I don't care if you sign up or not. I just want to help. Okay, so what that looks like, and again, notice I'm not reading this word for word. Notice what that looks like, but you guys can watch and you can see if I say the same things. What that looks like is you figure out what your goal is, what you're struggling with, and then what you need to do to get to that goal. Does that make sense? And I'll ask a lot of questions where I say, does that make sense? Are you following me? To make sure they stay engaged and they're listening. The longer you drone on, the more you speak, the less you're selling. So it's always important, if you're talking a lot, hey, does that make sense? Got it? Understand? Any questions? Did I confuse you? You okay? You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure that they're listening. Okay. Once I say that, I go, so awesome, John. So look, by the end of the call, I'm just really looking to make sure that you're able to do one of two things. First is you love what you hear, you say yes, we get the ball rolling. Second would be, hey, this isn't a fit for you. And that's completely okay. I don't want you to feel like you can't tell me that this isn't a good fit for you. My job is not to force you to sign up for me. My job is to give you as much information as I can to try to help you make the best decision that's best for you. Okay. And I promise you, as long as you're honest with me, I will be honest with you throughout the call, and I'll make sure that I do what's best for you. Does that sound fair? Yeah, it sounds fair. Okay, cool. So by the end of the call, and then you'll notice I re-clarify. So by the end of the call, you feel comfortable that you could give me a yes or no decision. Is that accurate? Yeah. Okay, you're 100% sure? And like, I'll kind of say it like, you sure? Like a little bit of a joke, because I want to ask multiple times until they give me the answer I want. Sometimes I'll be like, well, we'll see how it goes. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, I don't really like to make a decision on the call. I'm like, yeah, no, I totally get that. All I'm looking for you to do is by the end of the call, I want to make sure I give you all the information possible so that you feel comfortable telling me, yes, this is a fit, or no, it's not. And if you don't feel like you're able to do this on this call, what I could do is send you some more homework, and then we could talk after you've watched that. Because ultimately, John, once I go through the entire call, you'll have all the information you need. I'm not asking you to make a decision right now, but I do need you to make a decision by the end of the call. That's just my process, and that's where I see people give the best results. Does that sound fair? Notice how I'm not attacking. I'm keeping it lighthearted. Sometimes, guys, all you have to say is, this is my process. I need you to follow that for X, Y, and Z reason. Are you able to do that? If they will not follow your process, they're not going to pay you $3,000. Okay? They're not going to pay you, like, don't think that if they ignore you at the beginning, that they're not going to ignore you at the end. Okay? If people will not follow your process, bye. Like, in a nice way, you're like, that's my process. I totally respect your decision, but that's what I find gives people the best chance to be successful. So if you don't feel comfortable, we could reconnect in the future. And I've had people who are like, all right, bye. And they hang up. I'm like, okay, great. Because I'm not going to waste my energy for an hour on someone who's not willing to listen. Okay. People have to be in the frame of mind. One of the clients the other day sent me a sales call, and the lady got on and was like, yeah, so like, I totally forgot it was this time. I'm literally going through a divorce right now. So I just like want to get down to the details. Like, what's the price? Like, you're not going to sell her, guys. You're not. She's not even in the right state of mind. So if I ever get any animosity or aggressiveness, I will try to get it. I will try to get them to calm down. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I can imagine. I haven't had a divorce, but I can tell you I got some crazy girlfriends. I can tell you're not crazy though. Like, try to get her to laugh. And I'll say, you know what? If you'd like, I have this call because at the end of the day, the price depends on what it is you're going to need. The only way I know what it is you're going to need is going through the call. So if it's not a good time for you, I can understand you're going through some personal stuff right now. Let's reschedule when you're through that and get you help then, because my process is having this call. Otherwise, I just wouldn't waste your time. I promise. Like, I don't like having these calls for no reason. So if you're willing to go through that, let's do it. If not, let's reschedule when you can. Nope. I just want to do it right now. Like I said, I totally understand, but that's my process. If you're not wanting to do that, I think what's best is, we could just hop off this call and I could try to recommend you someone else. Like, they need to follow your process, guys. Make them follow your process. Okay. You're in charge. They need your help. It's not the other way around. Okay. When you act desperate, when you ignore signs, you're wasting your time and energy. And remember, part of success for most of you is time allotment. One of the reasons I've grown so fast and I've gotten big and I've stayed big is I'm very efficient. I'm like a machine. I'm super efficient. So when you guys are like, well, maybe I just take it and see what happens. I mean, if you're practicing, sure. But if you're not, and you got your stuff dialed in, or, hey, if I get a good look, I'm going to close, get off and go message, get off and go do coaching, get off and do ads. Like, don't waste your time. Okay. This isn't door-to-door sales. You don't have to force it down people's throat. If they give you signs like that in the beginning, they won't follow your process. They're not going to sign up. I promise you. You're not going to get someone who's like, well, this is what I want to do. This is how it is. It's like, all right, like, you're not a good fit, dude. People don't just say that because it sounds nice. It's because they genuinely are not going to sign up. Okay. So then they agree. They're like, yep, sounds good. I'm like, awesome. Cool. So let's go ahead and dive into the questions. And then, guys, here, just remember, there's no specific questions to ask, but the whole point of asking questions, right? And going back to this here, I'm sorry, where was it? Yeah. Like 15 to 30 minutes, we ask questions. So if you're watching a timer, you pick up at 6, by 6:30, you should be done with questions. max. Okay, that's your absolute max. If you're over that, a lot of you guys, you're way over that, way over. So most of you guys will do this. You guys will spend 35 to 45 minutes of questions. You'll do a 10-minute presentation. You'll pitch. It's terrible. It's not good. Okay, so you want about 30, 15, 10. Okay, 30 minutes to question, 15-minute pillars, 10 minutes close. You can also go faster, right? But that's if you do an hour. Okay, so let me go back to this. So then I just go into like what I need to know. Okay, so John, what's your goal? How much weight do you want? And guys, what I do too when I ask questions is I'll give examples. Don't just be like, what's your goal? Be like, so John, what's your goal? You want to lose 10 pounds? You want to gain 20 pounds of muscle? You want to run faster? What is it you're trying to accomplish? Not only does it sound better, but it gives them options, right? So you're pointing the direction of the call, you're leading them, right? So like, let's say I want someone to say, I want to sign someone up for Facebook ads. Hey, John, let me ask you a question. If you could take $1 and turn it into 4, would you do that or no? What do you think he's going to say? Yes, I'm asking a question that leads him to the answer I want. A lot of you guys ask questions, but you have no purpose in asking the question, or you don't ask it in a way that gets you the answer you want. Don't ask stuff that you don't want the answer to. Okay. So I'll say, John, what's your goal? You want to lose 20 pounds, or they're a business coach. Hey, you want to make X amount of revenue, etc. This is my goal. Got it. Cool. Write it down. As soon as I know what the goal is, I may dig a little bit. If it's a fitness goal, I may say, hey, why is that important to you? Why do you want to lose that 20 pounds? Maybe get a little bit deeper. But, at the end of the day, once you've taken 100 calls, it's kind of all the same stuff, right? So I'll dig a little bit to get them to say it, but then I move on. If they're overweight, they have low confidence, they want to look better, health issues, yada, 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 yada. Okay. If someone wants to make money, I don't need to ask, like, why do you want to make more money? I mean, I can, but it's not that powerful because they're like, because like I want to like have nice things. Well, why? Well, I don't know. Like it's better than bad things. Why? You don't have to like dig and dig and dig and dig once you've gotten the answer you're looking for. Okay. So I'll be like, what's your goal? Awesome. Okay. What's your biggest struggle? And notice like I have stuff in here, but I don't always use everything. My biggest stuff I will use, I'll say, what's your goal? And then I'm like, great. What are you struggling with? I'm struggling with this. Got it. So now I know the goal. Now I know the struggle. So what's the next logical thing to ask? Well, what have you tried? Why is that important? Everything they say they try, you want to say the exact opposite. What have you tried before? Oh, I did keto and I hated it. Oh, dude, yeah, I hate keto. It's the worst. Why didn't you like it though, specifically? I don't know. I just got so tired of eating meat all the time and stuff. Yeah. No, I totally get that. That sucks. So what is it you'd be looking for? Okay. Notice that's not on the script, but it makes sense. So what is it you'd like in a perfect world? Yeah. Like, honestly, like if I could, I don't mind eating that way sometimes, but I really need to have more options. Okay. So you're really looking for something that's flexible. Is that accurate? Yeah. Okay. So something flexible, and notice how I'm saying questions and I'm giving them options. So would it be clear? Would it make sense if, am I correct when I assume that? Stuff like that. Okay. So any questions so far? Feel free to type in the chat. Like I'm just going down the question. Okay. Some of these questions are obviously B2B versus B2C, but then I usually say, okay, cool. Have you ever had a coach before? Like, what have you done for programs? Have you ever done any programs? Yeah, like I did Beachbody, did P90X. Okay, cool. Why'd you stop doing that? And I want to hear what they have to say, because all the stuff they tell me, I'm just going to use it in my close at the end of the call. That's the whole point, guys. You don't ask questions to just ask questions. You're asking questions so when they bring shit up or later in the call, you can hit them on exactly what they said. So I did this. I didn't really like this. I did that. It didn't work. Why didn't it work? Why do you think it didn't work? What would it look like if something did work? Everything they tell you, you're just going to regurgitate it back to them. Okay. If someone comes on a call and says, I need help with Facebook ads, I'm not going to talk about sales. All I'm going to talk about is Facebook ads, because they think that's what they need, right? Give them what they need before you give them what they want. Okay. If someone thinks, it doesn't matter if you have the best program on earth, if someone thinks that what you're selling is not what they need, even if it is, they will not buy. Okay. Part of the reason marketing is out there is because at the end of the day, you could probably compare, 20 business coaches programs and they all have similar characteristics. Why do people buy someone else's then? Because they either trust that person more or they believe that that person has a unique strategy they haven't tried, even though it's probably all relatively similar, right? Just like a fitness program. Every fitness program is relatively similar, okay? Probably. If I took 20 trainers, I don't think they're going to do something super freaking unique, but you have to make the client think you're super unique. That's the whole point. Okay. So now I've asked these questions, right? Okay. Got it. So, John, I think I got everything I need. That makes sense. Are you ready to dive into what I call the 3 pillars? Okay. So again, guys, like you don't have to ask all this stuff. This is a script outline. This is not, do you have a process in place to get customers? What is a normal sales process? Okay, go. Are you comfortable? Like, don't do that. These are questions to just help you stir your mind. As you start doing sales, you can put in and take out what you have. Me, honestly, now that I've done sales a long time, I'll do the pre-frame. So I do this. Okay, I'll get on, I'll do a little rapport. I'll do some pre-frame. Pretty much the only questions I'll ask after that is I'll say, what's your goal? Okay, what are you struggling with? What have you tried? Then I'll ask like, if they're a fitness person, I'll say like, what programs have you done, etc. If they're a business, I'll say, cool. Do you do ads? Have you done any sales before? No, because I want to know if they have marketing, right? Because if they're a marketer, think about it. If someone's ran YouTube or Facebook ads, and I'm like, yeah, we help you with YouTube or Facebook ads, they're like, yeah, I already know how to do that. But if someone says I run Facebook ads, I'll be like, oh, cool. How do you run them currently? Well, I run them to a webinar. Well, then I go ding, ding, ding. They already run a webinar. So if I say I do something different that's more effective than a webinar, that's going to help me close a sale. Because remember, people want to know that what you do is unique. That's what people really want, guys. No one on this call will pay for something that they feel they can get somewhere else for the same price. That's what high ticket is. People will pay higher price if they feel what you're selling is different. That's it. Otherwise, they're not going to pay. They're not. Okay. Tom said, what is your best method to figure out how much money they make if they can afford the program on the call? Do they judge off their job? Yeah, so I usually judge off their job, and I do that before the call, Tom. So you can ask someone like, what is your occupation? They say lawyer or doctor, so obviously they have money. If they say something else, I might look it up and I'll say, hey, so I saw in your application that you're a carpenter. With that being said, I love that you're a carpenter, but I know friends that are also carpenters, and usually sometimes cash is a little tight. Is your cash flow tight right now, or do you feel like you're in a good place to invest into your fitness? You're not going to offend them. That makes completely logical sense. And then you're going to get the information you're looking for. Okay. A lot of you guys are just scared to ask for what you need. You don't have to be scared. Like, as long as you're nice, you can pretty much say whatever you want. Okay. Right? Before someone says something like racist half the time, they go, well, not to be racist, but, and then they say something racist. Okay. When someone says, not trying to be rude, but, and then they say something rude. You can pretty much get away with whatever you want as long as you have the right tonality and you're acting like you care. Right? So if I'm like, hey, look, I'm not trying to offend you, but I've got to shoot you straight. You said this and it doesn't make sense to me. Why would you say that? They're not going to get mad. They're going to be like, oh, well, and then they start trying to explain. So that's like the biggest thing with a lot of you is, one, you pre-frame before the call is part of it, right? If you get an application and they say, they're a server at Olive Garden, nothing wrong with that, but I was a server at Olive Garden. I only made $3,000 a month. So I already know, like, hey, I might want to address this before I waste an hour of my time. Some of you get on calls and get discouraged because you're taking calls you shouldn't take. Then some of you don't take any calls at all, and that makes no sense either. So there's a balance. You have to look for patterns. When you don't know when you're new, you should take all the calls. Once you start seeing patterns, then you go, okay, every time they say this, I see this happen, or they're not a good fit. And then that's how you start adjusting your questions in your applications. Okay. All the stuff we teach you guys, I didn't just pull out of my butt. Like, I did it practice and practice and practice. And then I saw patterns. I was like, ooh, maybe I asked this question. Okay, this person I'm not going to take. And then I just found that balance. Okay. So again, just to go through, I do rapport, I pre-frame, okay? Some people will disagree with the pre-frame, but all you guys should really do it. Unless you're a super experienced sales rep, there's really no reason not to pre-frame, okay? Also, I know some of you guys will get advice from Gentry, so I want to make sure I don't confuse you. You need to pick one path, okay? Every sales guy you talk to will have a little bit of a different method. I'm a little bit more aggressive, okay? I'm a little bit more blunt and to the point. Gentry has a little bit more finesse than I do, okay? There's no right or wrong way to do it. Gentry's just very skilled. So what I typically find, in my personal opinion, Gentry may disagree with me, but I feel the less skill you have, the less finesse you can be. You have to be a little bit more direct, a little bit more aggressive, because it's easier in my opinion, right? Just less work. Okay, so do rapport, pre-frame. Then I just ask a couple questions. What's your goal? What are you struggling with? What have you tried? Have you ever had a coach? If it's a B2B, I might ask, have you ever done it? Facebook ads, YouTube ads, any type of marketing? Do you do your own sales calls? Have you done door-to-door sales? Anything like that? Just to see if they have experience, right? More sophisticated buyers, if you're a business coach, you're gonna have to talk to them a little bit different. Everyone else, if you're a fitness coach or something, these are not sophisticated buyers typically. They don't get pitched a lot. They're not in business. They're just regular 9-to-5 job, okay? So ask the questions, great. So now we're down to the pillars, okay? And this is what 90% of you guys miss this. 90% of you pre-frame, ask questions, and then you go into the program, but you don't go into the program and how it's gonna be different. You go into basically, hey, here's what you get. You get a customized meal plan. You get this, you get this, you get this, you get this. You give them this list. No one cares, guys. No one cares. No one cares. That is the biggest mistake you make in sales. Okay. So what do the 3 pillars mean? Okay. Not to confuse you. And if you guys have something you're typing, type this down as I'm going. So for me, what I do when I have 3 pillars, and I'll pull up a Word doc here, is there's 3 main points to your program. Okay, that's what 3 pillars mean. So if I'm a fitness coach, here's my 3 pillars. Eat whatever you want. This is what I had. Okay, you might have something different. Okay, and I'll go down both so you guys understand. Okay, sabotaging results. Train however you want without sabotaging results. And then, then who should you hire? Okay, me, in-person trainer, Beachbody. Okay, so here's how this looks. And this is where all you guys make mistakes. And this is why you guys don't close as many deals, because you miss the entire point of the damn call. The whole point of a high ticket sales call is to demonstrate why they're paying you more money. Okay, it is not to demonstrate how you can get them results. No shit. It's to demonstrate why they should pay you 3 G's instead of paying 300. Okay, and a lot of you guys miss that. Okay, so this is where you get the info. Like, awesome. So John, you ready to go into kind of what I call the 3 pillars? Cool. Okay, so the first pillar is learning how to eat whatever you want without sabotaging results. And then I do what I call, you just do compare and contrast. That's it. It's not hard. Okay, so what does that mean? I do compare and contrast. So I'll give you an example. So John, let me ask you a question. If you had to eat chicken, rice, and broccoli for the rest of your life, and you knew you would 100% lose 20 pounds, would you do it? No, I wouldn't do it. Well, why not? So if you 100% were going to hit your goal, why wouldn't you do that? I mean, it's too hard. It's not fun. Right. So it's not about losing the weight. It's about how you lose the weight, right? Because we already know how to lose weight. If you starve yourself, that'll work. If you eat chicken and broccoli every day, that'll work. But that's not what you're looking for. What you're looking for is how to eat whatever you want without sabotaging results. So you want to have cake, you want to eat ice cream, you want to have pizza, because as far as I know, you correct me if I'm wrong. And look how I'm asking these questions to keep them. Correct me if I'm wrong. I may not be right. I'm not an expert. Maybe I'm wrong. You let me know, which gives them control as if they feel like they're in charge of the call. But I'm telling them how it is, but I'm like, but let me know if I'm wrong. Okay. It's like a little kid. Do you want to wear red or pink? Pink. I mean, you could wear that, but I mean, the red, oh man, the red really goes good with your sneakers. Oh, okay, I'll wear red. That's all I'm doing, guys. It's just persuasion. I let them think it's their decision, but I'm guiding them exactly where I want them to go. My hand is on their hip the entire time. And I'm like, yeah, all the way to the close. Okay. So everything I do is calculated and I have intention behind it. I'm not just saying shit just to say shit. If they think that you're just going to give them a regular program that does all the same shit as John down the street, they're not going to pay you $3,000. Sorry, they're not. They're not going to pay you $4,000 or 5 or 6 or 7. Okay. Unless they have a crush on you. That's it. That's the only exception. So I go, so look, the goal, John, is you're going to eat, you're going to eat donuts and cake on your birthday and you're going to drink alcohol, right? Okay, cool. So what I teach and what I train on is how you can eat those foods and still get results, because we already know you can get results doing something super restrictive. That's not impressive. What's impressive is the people who have 6-packs, who still eat donuts, have cake, and drink alcohol. That's where I want to get you. That's what you're actually looking for. Does that make sense? Do you agree with that? Yeah, I do. Okay, so that's the first thing. That's what makes me different, is I'm going to teach you how to do this without sabotaging results. That's key. This is 90% of your results, John. Does that make sense? So now he's like understanding, like, this is how Tanner's different. This is why I am on this call. Most of you guys in this part, you're like, yeah, so you get a custom diet and like, I'm super experienced, like I'm super ripped. And, you get to text me. They don't care, guys. No one cares about deliverables. No one cares. You should talk about your program for 2 minutes, the entire call. That's it. Seriously, 0. Like, it doesn't matter. Okay. So then I go to the next thing. So John, pillar number 2 is how to train however you want without sabotaging results. So look, the average person or trainer, they're going to put you in the gym 5 days a week, 2 hours of cardio, and you'll get results. But how long do you think that you could keep working out 2 hours every day with an hour of cardio? Do you think that's realistic? Probably not, right? So again, if you knew that you could lose 20 pounds guaranteed, but you had to run a marathon every day, why wouldn't you do it? It's too hard. You don't have enough time. You don't have a life, right? So why do we want to train 2 hours, 3 hours every single day? We don't. The goal, John, is how can you get maximum results with minimal effort? Why? Because as you get older, as you have kids, as you move, as you go on vacation, we don't want to have to do a super rigorous plan to keep you in shape. The goal should be, how do you do as little as possible while getting maximum results, right? So what I do is you can literally choose how much you train per week, and I will make it work for you. And the other reason that works is, again, 90% of your results come from nutrition. It's not the gym. Everyone tries to sell you on the gym, but that's not the truth, John. So yes, will you be more healthy if you go longer? Absolutely. Should you try to go every day if you can? Absolutely. Do you have to get results? Absolutely not. So you could go to the gym 6 days a week, John, but what I want to do is get you in the gym 1, 2, 3 max days per week, doing it the way you want and still getting results. Because at the end of the day, if you go and start doing Beachbody and P90X and CrossFit, do you think you could do CrossFit when you're 75, John? Do you think you're going to be doing, barbells over your head and throwing stuff? Probably not. So the goal is to teach you how this works. So as you mature and you age, you know how to adjust the programs on your own. The reason people quit programs is because they can't do it forever. So why would you start a program that you can't do till you're 75? Does that make sense? Yeah, it makes sense. Okay, cool. So the first thing is learn how to eat whatever you want without sabotage results. And then the second thing is learn how to train however you want without sabotage results. You follow me so far, John? Yeah. Do you guys see, like, none of you guys do this. Like, none of you guys do this. At least the calls I've heard, none of you do this. So it makes your call so freaking weak. It's weak because you're not hitting on what you're doing. That's different. And I'm not talking about the program. Did I say how many jumping jacks he has to do or what he has to eat or what gym he's going to or how? I haven't said any of that. All I'm selling him on is my theory, my points. Okay. Matt, we'll do that at the end with the objection. It's a smoke screen. They're full of shit, by the way. So we'll get to that. So that's where I'm at so far. Now I have to bring the point home. So they're like, yeah, that sounds great, but no shit. It's like, of course I want it to be sustainable. So this is where you guys don't understand, like they're looking at different options. Why should they hire you? Right? So if someone's like, well, why should I hire you, Tanner? There's 6 other business coaches who offer me the same thing for less price. Well, what if I'm like, oh, well, like mine's better? It's not going to convince anyone, right? So then I go, so look, now, John, you understand those principles, you agreed with it, great. So now it comes down to, how are you going to get results? Okay, so the first one is you could hire an in-person trainer. This is literally what I say. And keep in mind, guys, I can switch this to fit any situation I want. There's pros and cons to everything. Okay, so if someone, like, let's say someone was like choosing between me and another coach. If it was me, I'd be like, well, look, dude, you can hire this other coach, but they haven't done 8 figures and they don't have a big company, which probably means if they're not big, what makes you think they can get your company big? Because everyone's selfish, right? So people will only do what they can do for themselves. So if he can't do it for himself, what makes you think he can do it for you? Right? But let's say I'm the small guy. You turn on the AC, by the way. Let's say I'm the small guy. I'd be like, dude, look, Tanner's done 8 figures. But let's be honest, you're not even going to talk to Tanner. And on top of that, like, how good of a service are you going to get? They're a huge company. So you can work with him. I get it. He's bigger. But guess what? Like, I only have 3 clients, bro. I can give you all the time in the world. I literally just changed my positioning. I did that. It's the same situation. I just changed my positioning. That's it. So whatever your positioning is, use it to your advantage. So if I'm an online fitness trainer, okay, I can literally just say, okay, look, so you could get an in-person trainer, but what's the issue with that? Well, first, they don't really want you to get results. Why do I say that? Now, they probably care about you, but at the end of the day, how do they get paid? They get paid when you show up. What happens if you stop showing up? They don't get paid. Not only that, it's illegal for them to work on your nutrition, but we said earlier, John, that 90% of results comes from nutrition, right? So why would you pay an in-person trainer who doesn't actually want you to get results, because that's how they get their paycheck, and focus on something that doesn't get you most of your results? It's 10%. Why don't you focus on the 90%? Does that make sense, John? Do you follow? Yeah, I follow. Okay, cool. Do you have any questions? Notice how, guys, the whole time I'm asking, do you follow? Do you understand? Does that make sense? They have to understand to buy. Okay? These people are not experts. Treat them as such. Okay? So then I'm like, okay, so here's your next option. You do Beachbody. Now, and guys, be honest on the calls. Be like, here's the pros, here's the cons. It makes you sound more truthful. So like, here's the good thing about Beachbody. Super cheap, John. Love it. Super cheap. Everyone can afford it. Here's the downside. It's cookie cutter. Means they send the same thing to every person on earth. So think about it. If Georgie is 45 and has 2 kids and 30 pounds overweight, and Emily is 26, 100 pounds overweight, why are they doing the same programs? Why do you think they quit? Because they pick a program that is too hard that they can't stick to. Sure, you'll get great results in the first 30 days, but think about it. They make it hard enough that people will get extreme results, but they can't stick with it. So they lose a bunch of weight in the first 30 days and then they rebound because they can't do it forever. Think about it. Could you go on 4 hours of sleep the rest of your life? No, but you could do it for a month, couldn't you? That's what Beachbody does, or whatever program you're like. And it's not hating on Beachbody. They're doing the best they can with the situation. But the reason the product is cheap is it's not customized. And if it's not customized, you're not going to stick with it. So if you're not going to stick with it, why would you start something that you can't stick with in the first place? You want long-term results, right, John? Right. Okay. So that leads us to the final thing. So why do people hire me, John? Well, not only am I going to teach you how to eat and train however you want without sabotaging results, but I'm going to show you how to do this so you never have to hire someone ever again. Because here's the thing. If you keep hiring in-person trainers, you keep buying Beachbody, it's only going to work until it doesn't work. And then you have to buy a new one and a new one and a new one. And guess what? If you learn how to do this once for the rest of your life and how it scientifically works and how you can continue to adjust on your own, when I'm gone or you stop deciding to pay me, you'll still get results. Right? Think of getting a college degree that you can use for the rest of your life versus you have to go Google something every single time you have a question. The person who has the degree in the long run probably will save money versus the person who has to constantly go Google stuff or has to constantly pay someone every time they have a question. Think of a mechanic who knows how to fix a car or someone who has to pay a mechanic. Who's going to save money over the long haul? Well, the mechanic will, right, John? So those are the 3 pillars. Learning how to eat, whatever you want without sabotage. Notice how I keep going over it. Like I'm drilling this shit in their head. Because this is where the call is sold, guys. The 3 pillars is where the call is sold. If you don't convince them in these 3 pillars, you're screwed. You're not selling a lot of people. You're not. This is how I close 60% of my fitness calls, 60 to 70% of my calls. If I got them on the phone, 60 to 70% gave me something. Doesn't mean I got it paid in full. Doesn't mean they were all 2 pays, but I got something because they could not argue with me. Like they agree with everything I'm saying. They're like, yeah, it makes sense. Like, yeah. 100%. I follow. And then I hit on this. So, and then it's who you should hire. You could hire me. You could hire an in-person trainer, but the issue is they don't focus on the 90% of results. Or you could do Beachbody, but the issue with that is it's so hard that after 30 days, you're not going to stick with it anyways. It's not sustainable. So those are the 3 pillars. Does that make sense, John? Do you have any questions before I move forward in the call? Nope, that makes sense. I do the exact same thing with business coaching. Okay, if you come on the script, these are our main things. Guys, first thing, you got to package and craft an offer to ensure you don't become a commodity. And I'll start giving examples. Right? If you like that's why you guys have issues selling, because you guys are doing this thing right here. That's what you guys are doing. That's why you guys can't sell as much. Because you're just like, yeah, like my program's really good and like it gets you results and it's customized and here's the shit you get in it. Bullet point, bullet point, bullet point. You want to buy? No, they don't. Okay. Same thing. I'm like, now you have to create an automatic asset. You have to make sure that you consistently can drive leads into your business. Then I give them an example, right? Then a lot of times I go into relying on the wrong business coach. Look, you can hire Rob or John, but guess what? John hasn't done it. Why would you want to hire him? You're going to hire John just because he's cheaper? Right? What's the other thing? They haven't even gotten to the level you want to get to. And guess what? They don't even have it anymore. If their business was so successful, why would they shut it down? Right? Like there's a million different ways you can go, but it's trying to get someone to understand what it is that you do different and to assert your authority. That's it. Okay. So then I say, do you have questions? And then I go, okay, cool. So next, let me go into the program briefly. Guys, I'm talking fucking 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. You guys are like, some of your calls, guys, I lose my mind. It's like 15 minutes of telling what the fuck's in the program. Who cares? Okay. So you're like, cool. So here's how the program works. You get 6 group calls a week. And this is just an example. So like, let's say I'm a business coach in this example. You got 6 group calls a week. Monday's mindset, Tuesday's copywriting, Wednesday's messaging, Thursday is sales, Friday is leadership, and Saturday is a round robin with Tanner. Okay. All the coaches are specialty coaches. You can get special help. You also have a private one-to-one coach that you can DM and get on Zoom calls as needed. Plus, we have a membership site and we have live events. Okay. All of that's included. Top of the line. These guys are experts. They're very good at what they do, and you will have the utmost support as you go through the program. Do you have any questions about that? That is literally all I say. That was like 60 seconds. That's it. Don't say anything else. They don't care. They're not listening. You're just hurting yourself. You're not going to make a sale. It's stupid. Makes no sense to talk about it any more than that. They do not care. They do not care. Okay. I'm going to say it one more time. They do not care. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. Just like drill that in your head. If you talk about what's in your program for more than 2 minutes, you're missing the point. This up here is where the call is sold. The 3 pillars. Okay. Wherever that is. Sorry, I lost my place. These are the 3 pillars. This is what people care about. They do not care about the other stuff. They don't. They don't. Sorry, they don't care. No one cares. If I came to you and said, hey, I can make you a millionaire in 30 days, you don't give a shit how you get there. You don't care. You don't. You just want to get the result. That's how every human being is wired. Okay? When I wanted to become a millionaire, I told someone I would lick the floor if they told me to. I literally would. I would have done it. I would have licked the floor with my tongue. That's how bad I wanted to be a millionaire. I wanted it that bad. They're the same way, guys. They don't care. So I go into that. I'm like, any questions? Nope. Great. This point, I'm wrapping up. Call's almost done. Okay, and look at it. We're 45 minutes in. I'm wrapping up. Here we go. So I'm going into my pitch. So then I go, so last thing I want to do is set expectations, okay? So I call this the Michael Jordan first fifth grader analogy. I say this on calls. It's what I do. So look, if I'm the best basketball coach in the world, Phil Jackson, and you can use whatever analogy you guys want. This is what I like to use. Michael Jordan's the best player on earth, and then I have a fifth grader. Who's going to get better results if I teach them everything I know? Both get the equal amount of information. Well, Michael Jordan. Right, Michael Jordan. So why do I bring that up? Because at the end of the day, I will teach you everything I know, but the results could vary based off your effort, your performance, your knowledge in the past, how hard you're going to work. If you do everything I tell you to do, it will work, but you have to commit to doing it. And understand that if you're closer to a fifth grade level, meaning you're just starting your fitness journey, do not compare yourself to Michael Jordan. That doesn't make any sense, right? So I want to make sure that's super clear, okay? Then the next thing is just when you come in, I want to make sure you understand what happened. You sign up, we do your onboarding, you get your customization, I send everything out, we start having weekly communication, and then we start going from there, or whatever you want to say. When I was doing business coaching, I was like, the second thing is I want you to understand you're going to pay a lot of money. Why am I telling you that? Because look, do you really think I can teach you how to make $100,000 a month and it's going to be cheap? That doesn't even make sense. It's going to be expensive because what I'm teaching you takes a lot of work and effort, and I will help you, but I have to give you a lot of my time. Okay. If it didn't cost a lot, I hope you would be concerned. So I'm like getting them ready. Like, I'm like, yo, this shit's expensive. You guys could try that out if you want. You could say, hey, so the first thing I want you to know is this is going to be expensive. And I don't say that to scare you or get you to hang up on me, but I want you to know what I'm going to teach you took a lot of trial and error and effort on my part, and I'm going to give you my 100% effort. And if I'm going to give you my 100% effort, it's going to cost a lot of money because I can't be working with other clients. Okay, you can use that or cannot use that. It's up to you. I'm not saying you have to, but I do have an expectation section. Okay, I at least do this. Then after that, I'm like, cool. Then the next step is we're going to get money for ads using organic. And then after that, we're going to set up your systems and we're going to turn that baby on. Does that make sense? And they're like, so now they understand the pillars. They understand how the program's going to work. And I didn't tell them hardly anything about the program. I didn't tell them how many calls they get. I didn't really go into the specifics. I was like, you get this, this, and this, and that's what you get, and da-da-da. But that's not why they signed up. They're going to sign up because they think up here, this is what makes me different. Everyone they talk to gives them a custom meal plan or a custom business. Like, everyone does the same shit, guys. That's not different. You saying that you're super experienced does not make you different. You telling them how many certificates you have does not make you different. It doesn't. Okay. So then I go into the close. All right. Now there's a million different ways to do this. Different sales advisors will give you different ways to do it, but I like doing it this way because I feel it's the best for beginners. Most of you guys are still beginners. Okay. Most of you guys are not doing so much revenue that you're just kind of like whatever, and you have sales teams and stuff. Most of you guys are still taking your own calls. Okay. So when this happens, I usually like to do a price drop. Why? It anchors the price and it helps force them into a decision, right? If you're not a super skilled sales rep or you don't have a lot of experience, it's easier to make it logical, in my opinion, okay? So what I do is I'm like, cool. So next thing, just get in the nitty gritty and the details. You ready? Awesome. When you drop the price, do not go on and on and on and on. Shut up. Some of you guys keep talking after you drop the price and it just makes you look unconfident. So the price is this, and the reason the price is this, and this, and this, and that, 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 and this, and this, and this. What do you think? Shut up. Say the price, be quiet. Okay, sound confident. So I go and I go, so look, the price of the program is typically 4 months or 16 weeks. Okay, price of the program is typically 3 months or 12 weeks. Okay, awesome. Now, at the end of the program, and you can say this if you want, again, this is an example. You don't have to do this, but I'd be like, no, at the end of the program, 3 things will happen. We can give you extra time if you need it. You can pay for a continuation fee, or you can upgrade and move on to the next phase, or you can obviously go your separate way. You have everything you need to know. My job is to make sure by the end of this program that you have all the information and excuse me, to go out and do things on your own if needed. Right? People don't continue with me because they don't know what to do. They continue with me because they get amazing results and they love having the accountability. Does that make sense? Yep. Great. Not only does that strengthen your sell, but it makes it so like when people get to your re-signs, it's like you're already like setting the frame of mind for them to re-sign in the future. Okay. And then for most of you, I'll do two options. If you have a team, this may change, but I'm like, okay, so look, option one, the standalone price is $6,000. Okay. Now, where are they at, guys? Okay. So in this scenario, here's what I like as a close. This is one version of it. Okay. And this is also why I say it's a script, but here's like what I would say in most of your positions. I say, so look, the price of the program is typically $6,000. Now, the reason it's $6,000, or I'd say typically the price of program to work with me is $6,000. Now, the reason it's $6,000, I'm the CEO, I'm super busy. There's a lot of stuff I need to do. Okay. The second option is you can work with one of my coaches. And as long as you can put down a minimum deposit today, okay, I like saying this because it anchors it, right? I could give you 50% off and it's $3,000. Now, it's the exact same program. You get everything I said above. The only difference is you're working with my team instead of me, right? Now, I will still be involved. I'll see what's going on, but your daily communication will be with that coach. And so that saves me the time because I cannot work with everyone, okay? So with that being said, which option sounds better for you? Okay. If you don't want to do two options, you just say, awesome. So the price of the program is typically 4 months, 16 weeks. It's $10,000. Shut up. Just shut up. Okay. Unless you're giving them two different prices, there's no reason to speak after saying the price. Okay. So then they come down here. Okay. And this is all you do. You just agree. You take them back to paying. You go back to the close. So they get down here and they're like, awesome. Sounds good. I'll make a decision. I'll move on this next month. I'll be like, wait, John, you want to move on this next month? You just told me. And remember all the questions I asked back up here in the beginning of the call? Well, wait, you just told me like this was super important to you and that you couldn't wait any longer to do it. Why would you want to start in a month? Well, like I just want to look at all my options and stuff like that. No, John, I totally get it. I mean, that's why you're on this call. Let me ask you this though. What's concerning you the most about the program? Because you seem super excited, and then as soon as I drop the price, you didn't seem very excited anymore. What's the issue? What are you thinking? Like, it's not hard to tell, guys. If you say something, it's pretty easy to tell. Like if they shit their pants if the price was too high, or they're I need to think about it. It's like figure out what the hell the actual issue is. Ask them. Right? If a girl says that she has a boyfriend, does she really have a boyfriend? Or is she just trying to get rid of me? I'll be like, oh, I'll literally be like, I'll say like, oh, do you actually have a boyfriend? Or you're just trying to get rid of me? And she'll be like, yeah, just ask. So let's say they do that. I'm like, okay, well, what's the actual issue? Well, I just want to think about it. No, I totally understand. John, look, the whole reason you're on this call is you've been thinking about it. You've been thinking about it for 2 months. Notice how I throw in a little bit of humor. Like, keep it light, keep it fun. So usually when I hear that, John, it's not that you need to think about it more. It's that you're undecided based off a couple different factors. So let me ask you, what's making you pause? And John, just to reassure you, like I said, if you don't want to sign up, we can hang up right now and you can be on your way. But I'm trying to genuinely help you. I know this program could change your life. I've done this 100 times. So I'm just trying to figure out what is holding you back. What is scaring you? Notice my tonality. I'm confident. I'm calm. I'm clear. I'm genuinely acting like I give a shit. Like, guys, acting like you actually give a shit goes a far way. Okay. And like the way you start giving a shit is actually just start giving a shit about people. Okay, when you see results in people's lives, it gives you conviction. The reason I'm convicted and I get pissy sometimes is because I've been where all you guys have been. So when people give me a bunch of bullshit excuses, I'm like, bro, it's bullshit. That's not true, because I've been there. So I'm convicted. So I don't mind telling people what they need to hear, because I'm like, that's not true. I've been where you're at. Right? Oh, I don't have the money. So what? I don't have the money either. Well, it's hard. Yeah, so what? Of course it's hard. Right? You don't have to buy into their bullshit. It's bullshit. Right? So I'll just say that. I'm like, what's the real reason, man? What's going on? Well, it's really the price. What do you mean by that? Well, I mean, it's just really expensive. Yeah, John, I totally get it. I totally get it's expensive. But remember, you said earlier in the call, XYZ, ABC, right? So let me ask you this. If this could fix your problem, would it be worth it to you? Because if it can't, obviously it's not worth it. If this could fix your problem, would it be worth it? Well, I mean, yeah, but okay. But you're still worried about price, right? And now, because it's been 2 times, I'm going to go and I'm going to push him into a corner. Okay, John, so let me ask you this. Is there any other reason? Is there any other reason you wouldn't sign up today other than price? No? Okay. So just to be clear, if we're able to figure the price out, you'll sign up. Is that accurate? Like, I'm getting them to say yes before they've even said yes. She's like, yeah, I'll sign up. Okay, cool. Let me ask you this, John. What's the most that you could afford to do without taking advantage of the situation? So the price of the program is at least $3,000. What's the most you can afford to do without taking advantage of the situation? Meaning taking advantage of me, because I'm trying to help you. Well, I could probably do like 500 a month. Okay, 500 a month. All right, I'll tell you what, John. If you do 2 things, I'll do 500 a month. 1, you work really hard. All I ask is that you do everything I say and you give your best effort. Can you agree to that? Yes. 2, you don't tell anyone that I give you a discount. Why? Because obviously it's going to piss them off if they didn't get the same discount as you. Is that fair? Awesome. What's your credit card? It's the same shit every time. Whatever objection they give you, you just agree. You say you try to find the actual issue. Once you think you found the actual issue, then you say, is there any other reason? Is there anything else why you wouldn't sign up? And then once they say no, they are in a corner. They have to now sign up or they have to become a liar. That's it. And then every time that it gets tense or it gets aggressive or I feel them like pulling away or getting mad, I just say, hey, John, look, man, I'm not trying to make you upset. I'm just trying to help. The reason I'm being honest with you is because I want you to get to where you want to be. But look, a lot of people probably wouldn't tell you the truth, John. They'll probably tell you that you really don't have to do this, or that, you know what, because you can't afford it, it's too expensive, that you could just hang up and move on with your life. But we both know that you've been stuck for long enough. And if you hang up and you don't take action, you're going to continue to not take action. That's just the truth. And if you try, don't lie to yourself and say you're going to do something else. Because if you would have done it before this call already. You're on this call because you need help, not because you want to be here. I'm good at what I do, John. I can help you, but you have to meet me halfway. But I'll tell you what, if you can meet me halfway, then I can drop that price down there, but you have to meet me halfway. Sound fair enough? I mean, that's all it is, guys. That's all closing is. But I will tell you guys, the number one thing that screws you guys is not the close and the objection handling. It's the 3 pillars. I can't even tell you how many calls I hear. It's just completely skipped over. It's not even mentioned. It's an afterthought. It doesn't even get brought up. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about on the whole damn call for? You guys are better off sending a payment link and getting them to pay in a messenger than you are if you're not going to bring this up. Because remember, high ticket, the whole point of high ticket is why they are paying excessive amounts of money to you. Why should I pay you an excessive premium price versus doing this? And if you cannot demonstrate that, they're not going to pay it. Why should I pay for a Lamborghini that has the same gas mileage or looks exactly the same as a damn Mazda? It makes no sense. Why would you pay for that? Oh yeah, this Mazda's like way better. It's 500 G's. Why is it better? Well, like it goes fast and it has a brake and it has wheels. That's what most of you guys sound like. It's like, so it's a fucking car? That's my presentation. Do you guys have questions? You guys should be able to unmute, I think, if you want to talk. Does anyone like have questions, or like, does anyone not understand something, or does anyone want clarification?
I got a question. When it comes to like the deposit, like say you do, so mine obviously is a fitness offer. I've never done, you know, if you pay in full, it's whatever, say 2,000, but if you pay in like 2 payments, 2,500.
Yeah, and guys, that's real quick, Tom. That's another way to
Yeah.
close. You guys could also say, hey, so look, typically the price of the program is 4 months or 16 weeks. If you pay up front, it's 2,000. If you pay in installments, it's 2,600. And that can like get people doing. They're like, or like the other way to do is you don't say anything, and sometimes you'll be like, so the price of the program is $2,000. Like, cool. Do you have payment plans? And I'll say, well, most clients pay up front. Is that going to work for you? And sometimes I'll pay up front just because you told them there wasn't another option, or you said most people do that. Does that work for you? I can always say there's a payment plan, right? So just that's another way to close as well. There's a million ways to do it, guys. The best thing I can tell you is just sound convicted in what you're saying and actually care about people. If you do both those things, you'll make sales. Go ahead, Tom, with your question.
Yeah, so my question is, like, before, when you're talking about if you like the pricing you had, whatever it was, when it comes to the deposit, like obviously I know at the end of the call you want to at least get something to show that they're committed, right? But like, do you always aim for like a certain percentage of like your package price that you want to try and smash if they're gonna just do a deposit? Like, should there be numbers that you always aim for to hit? Like obviously you want to maximize, you obviously want to get a paid in full, right? But like, say if like they're tight on cash and blah blah, is there a certain percentage you always aim for?
Well, so to me, a deposit is like they're not going to start yet. Is that what you mean? Or do you just mean like in general, like just get as much as you can?
Like get as much as you can. Like say I had a client who could only start paying like a month later or something like that. So I said, okay, we'll get it, you know, let's do a deposit now, till you start or whatever.
Okay. So I mean, the goal is to always get as much as you can. Obviously, the bare minimum that I would do, like if it's a fit, it's usually 10%. So if like I'm doing a fitness offer, the lowest I would ever go was like $250. If it's a business offer, the lowest we'll go is like, I mean, we really shoot for 10%, because the other thing is if you get a deposit that's less than 10%, typically they're not that serious, right? Because like, unless they've been saying money the whole time, it's like if I get a business deposit, let's say it's a $10,000 program and they put down $100, way more likely they don't come back or ask for a refund than 1,000. 1,000 is just way more commitment. So there's that. Then the second thing I do is I will typically try to get them to start the program, and or I will be like, you know, I get a set date when they're going to start. So I'm like, so look, you said you can't start for a month. What day can you start specifically? Like the first, the second. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up your payment to go on the 2nd, and we'll go ahead and like get you started now. I'll give you a couple weeks for free. And then when that time hits, it's going to start. Does that sound fair? Or whatever. Like, I want to start them as quickly as possible, because the longer you, the longer it goes, the more time they have to think about it and back out. Right. So for you, Tom, if that happens, I would definitely get the start date so you can lock in the payments. 100%. Don't just be like, oh, cool, you start in a month. All right, we'll just stay in touch till then. It's like, nah, dude, like what day are we starting?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. So that's what I would do. And then the other thing is like, if they're like, I can't start for a month, if you can be like, well, look, like we'll go ahead. I'll go ahead and start you in 2 weeks, then give you 2 weeks for free. And then that first payment will kick in then. Cause like, I want to just get that commitment and get them moving. Right. We've even had times where someone's like, well, I can't start for a month. We're like, cool, we'll just give you this month for free. You don't get any one-to-one coaching, but you'll get all the portal access, and then we'll kick in your time next month. How's that sound? Because we're trying to take away any BS objections. We're just like, yeah, no worries. We'll just go ahead and start you. Okay. Anyone else? Excuse me. No? Nada? Going once. Questions, going twice. Okay. So just to finalize this, guys, whether you're selling business or fitness, like that's a very easy framework to follow. Okay. And it works. Like all your, and the funny thing is the more, once I started getting on calls and I was truly in the intent to help people and not waste time and not do a bunch of like mumbo jumbo lingo and all this bullshit they teach, like my calls went faster, they were more efficient, and they sounded more genuine. I made more money. Like I would even, and like the irony is as you make more money, you're going to care less anyway. So it automatically, it actually helps you. Right? The hardest time is when you're broke, because that's when you can sound desperate. But if you get on the call and you're like, you know what, I'm just going to like go through this call, genuinely try to help this person, explain why I'm better than everyone else, it's really easy to close. But most of you guys, you're missing the point. You guys think it's like some special language or, well, how much shit can I add in my program? Like they don't really give a shit. They really don't. Right? Now, if you're a business coach, that stuff can come more into play with sophisticated buyers. Sophisticated just means like they've been around the block, they've been on sales calls, etc. But for fitness, all you got to do is demonstrate why you're so much more expensive. And if you follow those 3 pillars I did, it's super easy. Business is the same way. They're like, well, why should I hire you, Tanner? You charge 10 or 12. This guy charges 6. I'm like, well, I mean, that guy makes $10,000 a month. And then like, I'll just like wait to see the reaction. I'm like, so, I mean, you kind of give what you pay for, man. So do you want someone who's built an 8-figure company, or do you want someone who's built a $10,000 a month business? I mean, you tell me. Like it's not hard to get them to see the value. It's like, yeah, I mean, you could definitely do that, but it's not going to get you where you want to go. Right. Or I try to find other things, right? So that's why, like, if I could go to someone and say, hey, look, you can pay as you make money. That sets me apart. Or if I say, hey, you ran this webinar, it didn't work. What if I show you something called Convergent Conversations that will double your application rate? Would that help you? That sets me apart. So it's looking for, there's really, you're really to set yourself apart and charge more, guys. It's what's unique about you. So unique mechanisms. Right? So in fitness, it's how to eat whatever you want, train however you want, and who they should hire, right? And then in business, it's the same thing. Do you do lead gen different? Do you do ads different? Can you do performance-based work? Is it done for you? Like whatever. Like we did this shit the other day. Okay, just the other day, Ben did a launch for Elite 360. What was his whole pitch to you guys? Hey, you guys have all this shit set up already, but you should do ours because it's cheaper. So that's the only time in history we've ever sold a cheap product, but it's automation. So you guys are like, oh, so like it does the same stuff, but it does it better and it's cheaper. Yeah, okay, I'll buy that. That makes sense. But what if we did the opposite? What if we came to you guys and said, hey, look, this is 10 times more expensive, but you're going to get 10 times more sales. So who gives a shit? It's the same thing. All people are looking for is for you to give them a reason to pay you more money. But if you can't give them that reason, they're not going to do it. Right? Like if I go to Grant Cardone and he's like, hey, it's $50,000 for an hour phone call. And I'm like, well, I don't know. He's like, this guy's cheaper. He's like, all right, well, yeah, the guy doesn't make as much money as me, so go for it. So it gives me that logical reason of like, why should I have to pay an exorbitant amount? So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. The biggest thing that I see is like the 3 pillars. So you get on the call, rapport, blah, 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 shoot the shit. Then you set the expectation. Hey, so by the end of the call, this is like the goal. This is what I want you to do. Do you feel comfortable with that? Does that make sense? Let them know how the call is going down. Like, it's like if you ask a girl on a date and you do something she's not expecting, she's going to get mad, right? If you tell someone you're going to go out to eat and then you take them over to your house, that's probably not going to go well for you. That's how people get on sales calls. They just want to know what they're getting themselves into. So tell them, hey, this is how it's going to go. You cool with that? Nope. Bye. See ya. Next, right? It's just like dating, guys. Business is so similar to dating. That's why I think it's funny. It's the same thing. Okay. So you do that. Then you ask the questions. After you ask the questions, hit the 3 pillars. All 3 pillars stands for is what is unique about you and your program. And guys, if they're not good, they're not going to buy either. It has to make sense. The whole reason I did eat whatever you want, train however you want, and who you should hire is because that made the most damn sense. Because that's what every fitness person wants. They want to eat like shit and they want to look good. So tell them they can eat like shit and they can look good as long as it within while being ethical. And that's true. Guys, I've been eating like absolute dog shit. Do I have 6% body fat like Rob? No, but I'm sitting at like 10%. I look fine. Most of these clients don't want to look like Rob anyways, or George's picture. Like they're shredded as fuck. They don't care. Like, bro, you want to get to 15% and eat pizza? Is that hard? That's like so easy to do. You're not lying. You're not like telling people, you're not like some people are like, that's a lie. It's like, bro, 15% body fat eating pizza? That's not hard. Like, that's easy. So you hit on that. And then once they get to the end, anything they say, you're like, yeah, but look, the whole reason it's more expensive or the whole reason this is better is because of what I said earlier. Remember? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that does make sense. All people are looking to do is for you to justify why it's better. The reason most of you guys struggle is you're like pre-frame questions, and then you're like, so what's included in my program is da, 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 da. Hey, it's $4,000. Do you want it? And they're like, no. And you're like, why not? And they're like, well, the other guy has a safe step. You're like, no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. And you're like, yeah, you just listed out all the same shit he did. It's not about what you give in the deliverables. It's about the process. What is different in your process that's going to be different for them to give them a different result, right? So the best way to do that is think about all the shit people bitch about and then do the exact opposite, right? That's why we're trying to build new divisions in Elite COs, done for you ads, done for you messaging, Elite 360. We're looking for weaknesses or things people complain about, and then we're trying to address it with solutions. That's it. And then it's easy. It's like, why would you pay for Elite 360? It's 10 times cheaper and it does all the same stuff better. Why would you pay for done for you ads? Well, you don't know how to run your own ads very well. We'll do it for you. Well, why should I pay you for a closer? Well, you suck at closing. So like we'll teach someone to close for you. Why should I pay you more money and not this business coach? Well, I mean, I've been in the industry 4 years. I've done more money and I've gotten better results. It just has to be logical. It just has to make sense so people can justify it. Some part of sales is emotional, but the other part is pure logic, guys. If you can't, I don't care how emotional you push. If you can't bring a little bit of logic into it, it's really hard to become a good closer because there's a lot more, in my experience, there's a lot more logic. There's a lot more logic involved than people give credit for. It's not just purely emotional. So hopefully that was helpful for you guys. I'll see if I can get this like loaded up into the portal. And yeah, I mean, just please hit on the 3 pillars. Don't go through calls and fudge that up. Like, it's so critical, guys. Like, that's the most critical part of the call. And if you miss that, you're going to miss a lot of deals and you're going to get frustrated. And you're like, man, like, I'm doing so good. Like, I'm saying all the right things. Like, I'm doing all the work, but you're missing the point of why should they pay you a premium price? Okay. And if you can't convince them, they ain't going to do it. Right? Like when I'm looking for rent in Miami and someone's like, yo, I want 20 stacks for this penthouse. And I look at it, it looks like a piece of shit. Why would I pay? I'm like, bro, that thing sucks. Like, this is 10 grand. Why would I pay you 20? And if he can't give me a good answer, I'm like, yeah, I'm not paying you 20. I can get the same thing for 10. Right? But if he's like, well, I know it's a piece of crap, but you get a free chef and you can have unlimited parties and you get a free table at Live every night if you want. All right. It just has to make sense. And a lot of you guys go through the calls, you make 0 cents, you give no reason why they should pay for you. And then you're like, yeah, but my program has like all these things. And they're like, they don't care. Because that's not what they're hiring you for. They're hiring you for the result. They're not hiring you for the deliverables. Okay. Anyways, hopefully this is PG enough to go in the portal. I don't know. But I will try to get it in there. So hopefully that helps, guys. And just implement this shit. It's easy. It's not, and don't get in your head. It's just get on the call. You're there to help people. If you have the framework, just follow the framework. Don't read word for word. Don't try to. You're never going to be good at doing that. It's not going to work. But just follow the framework. And as you finish each step, you're just like, check, check, check. And you just keep going. And it's straight line selling. That's Jordan Belfort's big thing. He's like, make sure that they're moving down the line, the entire sale. And that's why I like that framework, because it's like, I hit this, 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 done. And that's why all my calls are the same time length, because it doesn't take more time to run someone through the framework. It's like, it's the same shit. They either go with it or they don't. And you're not going to close every sale, but I promise you, you'll close a lot more. That's how I've sold so much, because I just like, I get on the call, I'm confident, I make a logical argument. And then when they give me objections, I'm like, I just push them in the corners like, hey man, like, what's the real reason? So they give me an answer. So anyways, hope that helps you guys. Love you. Just make sure you do that on your calls. You'll close more deals. That's it. Just do it and you'll close more deals. And then I'll try to get this to bed so we can like update it in the portal. Okay. All right, guys, so that is how you sell a high ticket fitness package. Let me know in the comment section if you have any questions. Hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time.